Good morning, Internet users. GossipGeek here, your one and only source into the scandalous lives of those on the Internet. The top story on my page: who controls the domain name system and how this organisation governs the Internet. But to understand this controversial tale, you first need to know the history. Last week, we learned the Internet relies on an underlying structure known as the domain name system, or DNS. To recap, every device on the Internet has its own address made of a sequence of numbers, such as this. To those in the know, it's called an Internet protocol or IP address. To access another computer or a web page, we use its IP address. However, because human beings are better at remembering words than numbers, we have the system which matches the IP address with text called a domain name, like facebook.com. So to access a website, we type in the domain name, and DNS translates it into the IP address so we are taken to the correct site. We also learned that for the whole system to work, there is one centralized point that governs the DNS, the control and assignment of domain names and IP numbers worldwide. Think about it. The people who control this system have a whole lot of power. Have you ever thought about who looks after this system? If these people have our best interests at heart, or if they are using the system to their advantage? My scoop today is that one of my many sources has led me to discover the organisation with this power and the scandal that has been alive since its inception. The DNS has been governed by a number of different entities in the United States, but since 1998 has been exclusively controlled by the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, or ICANN. Well, at least they're positive. Practically, ICANN controls the regulation of the DNS and its related IP address assignment, the infrastructure and databases which are a central component of the DNS, and other Internet protocol resources. So, decoding this jargon, ICANN is a choke point. They can determine whether or not the domain you want can be registered, or if the translation to your IP address will actually be performed. This all sounds okay as long as it's governed by a democratic process, right? Well, this is where the controversy begins. ICANN was established after numerous countries expressed concern that the DNS was solely controlled by the US, so the internationally organised and private non-profit corporation was created. However, the controversy is that it is still a company registered and based in California, which is under contract with the US government's National Telecommunications and Information Administration, NTIA, who oversees its activities. This relationship with NTIA was meant to be short-lived, but still exists today, as it seems that the Internet became just too important for the US to want to let go of the reins. Well, as you may have guessed, most of the US government was quite happy with this arrangement and denies any suspicious activity. However, the rest of the world, particularly the EU, was suspicious the US was abusing its power. Edward Snowden's leak in 2013, which confirmed long-suspected global internet surveillance by the US, was a catalyst for a number of technical organisations around the world to press for change. The US finally agreed to end its oversight and control, and a 2-year process of finding a new model began. It was agreed that the new model had to be multi-stakeholder, developed by the world's internet community, and could not be run by governments. In March 2016, the new plan was agreed upon, and in June 2016, the US administration endorsed this plan. If all goes well, the change to the new model will occur in September 2016. What does this plan and new model entail? Maybe next time on GossipGeek 1010.